I can get stuck in so much thought around sex, like pressure to enjoy it, and is my body doing the right thing, and are they enjoying it, and whatever the thought might be. And there's something about submission that is like a workaround, and that's like a not sexy way of saying it, but fuck, it's the most sexy. Like, you have all of the clarity up front of what you're a yes to, what you're a no to. Now you get to just be pure sensation. This is Erotic Reclamation.
A space where desire isn't shameful, boundaries are a turn on, and curiosity is welcome wherever it leads. I'm Nicholette.
And I'm Kari. And we're here to have honest conversations about sex, kink, relationships, aliveness, being in a body, and all the weirdness that entails, and pleasure that heals.
Because these electrifying, liberating, ecstatic, but misunderstood parts of the human experience are too good to hide.
That's how we're going to start every podcast. A big breath from Nicholette and a from me. The sexiest sounds to start the podcast.
Well, I had this idea, which was to do a stream of consciousness. Like, one of us goes, submission is, and says the first thing that comes to mind, and then submission is, and so it's just like going and seeing what comes out.
Spicy. I like it.
I can't go first if you'd like, if you want to feed me the prompt.
Submission is.
Yeah. Submission is very, very vulnerable and exposing.
Submission is
Like, delightful and titillating, because there's always this sense of the unknown.
Mm.
Like, I live in the unknown.
Submission is
A very tender part of me that yearned to be lived and expressed for much of my life, and now, while I have it, still yearns to be lived and expressed.
submission is
Serving, obeying, worshiping, pleasing, suffering for my dom.
your face is like completely changes when you talk about submission. It's so cool. Okay, we'll keep in it. Submission is
Mm, like sneaking out between work calls and client calls to, like, crawl in and kiss my husband Dom's feet and ask him if there's anything he needs, and kind of like giggling and playful, and like lighting up when he actually does ask for something, even if it's a glass of water.
Mm. All right, last one. Submission is
Divinely guided.
mm. Mm. I feel like there's some nuggets in there. Some gems. Okay, do me.
Okay.
Mine's gonna be so different.
Yeah, this is why we do this to both of us. All right. Submission is.
Naughty,
Submission is.
like an exquisite pain and ecstasy play.
Mm. Submission is.
mm, deeply freeing from my own fucking prison.
Mm, mm.
Mm.
Submission is.
Something I fucking hate sometimes.
Mhm. Mhm. Mm. Submission is.
Like such a gift to receive, like
Mm,
such a gift to be given. The opportunity to. Yeah.
mm. Submission is.
Fun and chaos and everything and catch me if you can and fucking let me test the boundaries that are us and what is the limit and where is the edge of what we can both like stay connected in and like what is the weird shit we can step in together.
Mm, mm, mm. That got a lot of energy in me. Nice. All right, couple more.
Yeah.
Submission is.
Mm. Something that feels elusive to me at times, or something that I internally remind myself how much I enjoy it once I'm
Mm,
there.
mm. All right, last one. Submission is.
Super hot, and I just want to do a really good job and get such the best grades and make everyone so happy.
So sweet. Yeah, it's like it's kinda cool, like, it's like a portal, like, seeing different aspects of you light up as you share about it.
Mm, yeah. It's so funny that, like, right before we hopped on this, I was like, "I don't know what submission is. I don't do it. I don't understand it." It's just, like, such a funny little thought of, like, submission has to be some sort of way that I'm not,
Mhm.
like, a part of the club or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah. What that brings up in me is performing submission, like, all these ways that I thought it had to look, and so then I would do that, and I ultimately was completely disconnected from myself and from my dom when I did that.
Mhm,
And I also got really controlling 'cause it was like, "No, you're not doing it the this isn't the way it's supposed to be. I'm not being submissive the way I know I'm supposed to be, and wait, I have to be on my knees and like, ow, this hurts a lot. Hold on, I don't wanna do this anymore." And,
place.
like but,
Yeah,
like, a year ago or 2 years ago, I might say, like, on my knees all the time, crawling with my collar on and it's not that it's not that, but
mhm,
it was this idea of submission that had this very particular image that
mhm,
as I live in it more and more, it is so much more than that.
mm, mm,
I mean, it's still that, but it's more than that.
yeah. I just find it to be a way in to sex, which has not always been straightforward for me,
Mm, mm,
and I can get stuck in so much thought around sex, like pressure to enjoy it, and is my body doing the right thing, and are they enjoying it, and whatever the thought might be, and there's something about submission that is like a workaround, and that's like a not sexy way of saying it, but fuck, it's the most sexy because it gets all of it it moves all of my thought from in my mind. It, like, is like, "Okay, you don't have to use this. beautiful, beautiful thing that is so wonderful in your life. You don't have to do that. You don't have to think about if it hurts or if you like it or what is happening next or like you have all of the clarity up front of what you're a yes to, what you're a no to. Now you get to just be pure sensation.
Mm.
And that can be hard for me to find in a more natural progression of sexual interaction at times because whatever reasons and traumas in the past, it's just like, oh man, there's like a straight shot with a little bit of a power dynamic that it just unlocks my body very quickly. And I don't know that that's talked about a whole lot.
Mm. Yeah, another thing that just came to me, is true for you, but, like, you're in a career that really values your intellect, and you use it very well, and you're very successful as a result of the use of your intellect.
Mm.
So, to put it aside is I would imagine would be even more challenging or very challenging, but also very, very liberating.
Exquisite once achieved.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think, you know, people can have their own thoughts around gender and submission as well.
Mhm,
But I think that's where it's like, oh, people in positions of power, making lots of choices in whatever form of their life. But like people I've met in my profession, also, I find they do like to put that down no matter what gender they are. It's
mm,
just like such a relief because the way my brain is trained is to think 7 different possibilities of the future, and I'm already thinking all the way down there. That's not super sexy.
mhm,
It's
mhm,
not exactly the thing, and, oh, something you said was, like, being in the unknown or the surprise.
mhm,
Like, that is a fucking magic. Like, I
mhm.
don't know where this is going. Thank f thank God.
Yeah, yeah, and, I think about, like, just like getting on a roller coaster. You sit down, you strap in, and you go along for the ride, and you trust that the thing's not gonna break and that, like, it was constructed well enough that you're gonna get to the other side, and meanwhile, you'd be like, "Ah," the whole way. Um But yeah, like, there's that trust in this thing that's, like, set up for you and the people that put it together and
Mm,
the people who tested it and, the people who are running it, like, there's a huge amount of trust to just get in the thing and strap in and, like, bring me hundreds of feet into the air and then set me down, really fast. But if you're in, like, a trusting dominant submissive relationship, it's the same thing. Like I'm trusting this person and that they care for me, that they've, taken into account my boundaries, my desires. They've listened to me. They're they're not in it to like harm me in any way. Ah, here we go. Strap in. Let's see what happens. And that trust actually lets me put my brain aside and or my brain's still there, but my mind aside and just to be in that unknown. That's part of the fun of getting on a roller coaster is like
mm,
that it's kind of dangerous and but it like sort of could be.
mhm.
And you have no idea like what is that feeling going to be in my stomach when I drop and like will I scream? Will I look stupid? Will I like you just don't know till you get to the other side.
Such a good metaphor. Like, humans it's just like humans enjoy things and places and experiences that take them to emotional like, think about it. It's like, oh, we're drawn to, like, a roller coaster and the thrill and the fake fear, but the kind of right fear if it's not been maintained and, like, it's just a very natural part of being a human,
Mhm,
when done well, right? Because you could also then be in sex addiction, love addiction, all kinds of addiction, and I think addiction and kink can probably sometimes go hand in hand or
mhm,
submission, and, there are healthy ways to do everything and unhealthy ways. So, um, I think just to be said overall, when Nicolette and I talk about this, we're talking about consenting adults, healthy, loving dynamics, even if it's not
Mhm.
necessarily partnership. But a lot of what we are most of what we are speaking of, unless we're talking about the times it's the roller coaster wheels have come off, is
Mhm.
within like a very well intentionally maintained and loving um, partnership of some variety.
Yeah, and also part of that trust is, like, that there's enough communication and repair that can have that, can restore any any disconnect, and that repair is possible um, which also is a dynamic, and I know in your relationship as well, but, like, in a 24/7 dominant submissive dynamic, you can still have, really meaningful repair conversations and still be respecting the dynamic.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's probably a lot to say in that. We're
I know, right?
gonna
Oh, how far do I go?
Yeah, I know, like, do we go there this time? Next time? What do we do?
Yeah. Yeah, but, like, when I think about what submission is not,
Mhm,
like, it's not just throwing myself at the feet of, you know, Joe Schmo, like, to see what's gonna happen. Like, it's n that's that, like, edge of, like, you it can look like 2 sides of the same coin. I am still stepping into the unknown, but I'm not just doing this with just anyone. Like, I'm doing it with someone who I completely trust and who I know is gonna care for me and but also is human and
mhm,
makes mistakes.
mhm.
And that's part of this. I'm also not expecting my dom to be invincible
Important.
or to be perfect or, like that's the other side of the fantasy is, like, when I was fantasizing, I wasn't just fantasizing the submissive role, I was fantasizing the dominant role.
Mm. Wait, say more.
Yeah, like, instead, I'm seeing this person who is real and has, you know, flaws as well as incredible strength. Couldn't even imagine
Mm,
when I was fantasizing and has his own wants, desires that are way beyond mine. Um, but I also value that he's taking into account my desires and also probably knows things that I want more than I do.
mm,
So I think like, a good roller coaster takes you for a ride and like gives you an experience that's like better than you thought.
mhm,
Oh
mhm.
my god, it's so good. Let's do that again. And that's what I experience with my dom. Like a lot of things that I thought were on my hard no list are like fuck yes now.
Mm. Something to be said about that. That's a whole nother yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it wasn't a hard no because of, lack of safety. It's like, I'm never gonna like spanking. I
Mhm.
fucking love spanking.
You thought for a moment in time you were never gonna like spanking?
Oh, yeah, that was a full no. I mean, not even it was recent, like, years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. It was just like, "Mm-mm, nope, that's not for me. No impact, none of that." But I love
It's fucking epic, man. It's just a wow, when done well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm, very cool. I love knowing that. Man, my brain goes a million places. I'm like,
Mhm.
but when I think about kind of tying it back to where we want to stay today is like what is submission, what is surrender? And I just find it really interesting to hear and think about it from like a devotional space, from a like the chemicals it like releases in the body space, from a therapeutic space, from a relational space. But one thing that I think we wanted to talk about was solo submission. And like the concept of what that even means.
I think just to like put a bow on it is like because submission can be anything. I mean, really, it can be anything. It's important to find what it means to you, and I think the only way to get at that is to be present with it in your body and in your like, in your breath and in your feelings, like, your feeling sense, to actually feel like you were talking about the sensations, like, to actually be in that, that's how you can find what it is, and this is why solo submission. Okay, now I'm there.
Well, I'm like wonder like when you say be with it in your body, be with it in your breath, what does that mean? Just to kind of expand that out.
Yeah, because for me, again, submission lived in my mind. It lived in my all these visions I had. It
Mm.
lived sense of like identity, like, oh, there's something in me that makes me want to serve, that makes me want to let go of control, that makes me want to follow someone else. Like there were some simple things that were there, but most of how it lived was in my ideas of what that meant.
Got it.
So instead, to feel in my body what it is to let go of control,
Mm.
that is a very, that is a very specific sensation, and it actually is not comfortable. And
Yeah.
a lot of submission for me has been about fighting my like addiction to comfort
Mm.
and being willing to be uncomfortable for the sake of discovering what it is that I truly love.
Mm.
Um, yeah, because to actually be taken to these new places is not comfortable.
Mm.
And so the willingness to feel the discomfort, to feel the tension, to feel the ache or the crave, to feel titillation, to feel turn on that I don't know what's going to happen with that turn on, like to feel desire, to feel um, confusion, or feeling a little lost or a little mindless, um, to feel my need, to feel my feet falling asleep, to feel my fingertips, like, vibrating, to
Mm.
my throat, like, salivating, like, feeling all of that, my
Mm.
heart, like, cracking open as I just pour tears out my eyes, like, feeling all of that helped me
Mm.
to see what submission really is
Mhm.
for me, and to really feel into, like, is that what I want? And my dom asked me constantly through the early stages of our relationship, "Do you really want this?" Like, "Okay, and then do you really want this now? And how about now?" And I kept saying yes, even
Mm.
though it was uncomfortable,
Mm. Mm.
because ultimately the way that I felt so real and so me and so, like, self made it all worth it.
Mm. A beautiful description of the moment, because I think it can be this thought of it's all hot, and if it's not, they're doing something wrong, and it's like that edge and letting go. I've heard it described as like being on ice skates
Mhm.
and your feet going out from under you, and it's like, man, what a what a beautiful choice, and you and your partner or your dom are where you are today because you were like, "Yes, I want to," and because he kept asking. I see that as a both side thing because that shows that he's so attuned to your discomfort, and he's like, "I just wanna check, like, you still a yes to this discomfort?" And you are like a lightning rod of truth and expression, and it's ripping through your body, and that's like I just see that being like how you guys have gotten to this place that you are today, and it's inspiring, it's beautiful.
Mm, thank
Yeah.
you know, I think when we bring in solo submission, a lot of people think that in order to submit, you need a person to submit to.
Mhm. Does make sense.
Yeah. If you're a bottom, you gotta have a top. If you're
Yeah.
a sub, you need a dom. If you're a pet, you need a pet owner. Um, but like to find that you act can be and be a sub, and
Say
that
that part
that
again. We lost you,
y-
sorry.
to find that you can be a sub and be a sub, and that that's enough.
Mm,
That was profoundly liberating for me.
yeah.
Um, there was still a part of me that was craving, that part met by another person, but I got to live in the craving and feel it, and honestly, the craving has not gone away since there's another person. I'm
Eh,
still craving that, always. That crave never goes away.
uh-huh. Eternal hunger. We just finished and I want more.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not about, like, finding the other one isn't gonna fill that void.
Mhm.
It's it's about learning to be with the void, and what better way to do that than to be with it with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think of it too as like, depending on where people are in their journey, but for me, I found my experience of submission got much deeper and more fulfilling when I didn't reject it in
Mhm.
myself. Like I definitely dabbled and played early on when it was taboo and I was like, this is bad and wrong, and that was hot and fun and mistakes were made and fun was had. But the um solo submission in my journey, I think the biggest piece has just been like acceptance. I had a lot of religious upbringing and
Mm,
um, stories around what was appropriate and what wasn't, which, like, thank God it's made my sex so much more interesting nowadays. But, it took me a while to be okay with it and to even accept that this is something I wanted. And that I think is more potent when done. That's an inside job. You can be in partnership while you are doing that, but that's an inside job. And then it's expression, and this yearn isn't laced with some amount of like a little like, am I okay? Is this right? Looking for validation from someone else that I'm allowed to have these feelings. And I find that to just be more fulfilling. I can stand. I mean, we talk about empowered submissive. It's
mm,
like, oh, I have like a strong fucking sense of self. And sometimes I like to be on my knees in the bedroom. I mean, that sounds crazy even just saying it. I'm like, "Ah," but it's like, "Oh, great." Like, that is just so true, and I think that's where the empowered piece comes in, is, like, not from a doming way or a topping way or I'm only gonna submit to myself and I don't need a man. Because
mhm,
like you said, the yearn and the, like, ache for someone doesn't go away. If anything, it gets bigger. But that doesn't change with partnership, and,
mm,
um, I found it to be really awesome to explore things that I might like, things that I might want just within myself and fully let me feel it before I was then sitting in front of someone else.
Yeah. Yeah, and the empowerment is power to choose and to, like, to actually, like, choose to wanna be on your knees and, in the bedroom and, um, to own that that's something that you desire.
Choice is a big piece of empowered submission, and I think this might be a little tangent, but a back to the what submission is not. It's not a spineless act. It's not a um like shedding of responsibility for your own needs, desires, boundaries. All of that is part of it, and the specifics we won't go into. But it's like submission is submission that is lived through the body and clearly known and freely expressed with a discerned partner is fucking powerful. It's
Mhm.
potent. It is the generator of some of the most creative, inspired moments of intimacy that I've ever experienced. Things like you said you would just never think of in a intellectual fantasy, but like lived every cell in alignment, yearning, um, truth, heartbreaking open or bratty claws out. It's so alive. And that to me is where the power is in the aliveness.
Yeah. Yeah, and a beautiful thing about finding submission on your own first is you can be with the things that make you feel alive without the fear that someone else is gonna reject it or judge it
Mhm.
or it or, which often happens to people when they're owning these more taboo or, kinky, aspects. You can just be in the aliveness. But and also, like, the self-shame that can come up to feel like, "Oh, I actually want this. Oh, no, I can't want this," all that stuff. You can be with that too,
Mm.
and, not project it on another person, but really own that part too. Like, "Oh, yep, I feel a lot of shame about the part of me that wants to be degraded. Yep, uh-huh." And be with the feelings of the shame
Mhm.
and so that then they are, integrated when you step into a relationship, or at least, like, you can name someone else without collapsing, um, or denying it, performing over it, which is something I would do a lot of. It's like, pretend that I'm not ashamed of that. But in fact, like, Dom loves to see, then it just adds to it, like, it makes it more fun.
God,
Um,
shame is like just would love to recommend not suppressing that shit because god damn it will like ignite a passion in a good loving relationship.
mhm.
It's like, oh,
Yeah, and we all have it to some extent, so it's a really beautiful way to connect with a human being. It creates deep connection. Hey, if you're listening to this conversation and feeling lit up, seen, or like, wait, how do I do that? You may be interested in our upcoming program, The Empowered Submissive.
whether you're new to submission or experience, partnered or single, nervous or thrilled, we've designed this program to meet you where you are and then take you where you've only dreamed.
It's a 3-month intimate, high touch container. You'll do what took us years: unlock the power and pleasure that has been hiding in your secret fantasies.
Hot? Absolutely. Confronting? Likely. Divinely exquisite? All the best things are.
Find out more at eroticreclamation.com under our programs.
Okay, back to the episode.
And there's one other piece that was coming to me, which is like, you get to be you get to be with those things without the influence of another person too.
Mm,
So, one of my kinda go-to shadow side, um, kind of unhealthy dynamic things that I'll do is people please or caretake, accommodate. So, it's very easy for me to go to abandoning myself
mhm,
in quote, "in service of" the other person,
mm,
when actually I'm bypassing my own desire. And so being able to be with myself and all the things that I want, there's no influence of another person. And then I can also work with the part of myself that people pleases and caretakes and abandons myself. So I'm not playing that out
mhm,
with my Dom.
mhm,
And I can also own that, and he can keep an eye out for that too, and not, you know, as the the scene if he sees me starting to do that, because then I'd be, that's service to both of us.
yeah, yeah,
And
and that's
self-abandonment looks like, me, oh, now I'm unstable.
yeah, you're pretty choppy, but I think we got it.
Okay, go ahead.
No, no, go for it. Self-abandonment, what does self-abandonment look like?
Well, it looks like, um, getting numb,
Mm,
not, like, kinda my eyes glaze over.
mm,
I don't, actually stop feeling. Um, I I get like, almost like a caric caricature or persona of a submissive.
mhm,
Like, "Oh, yes, let me yes, sir, may I serve?" It's like this kind of persona thing that's not real at all.
mhm,
Um, I'm not feeling my lower body at all.
mhm,
Um, yeah, those are some examples.
mm, mm. It's good awareness. Mine is I like this like what shows up, right? What are the shadow sides? Mine is like a hypervigilance.
Mm,
And so it's like you said, it's like all of the attention is all of a sudden here and I'm thinking about is the angle of the rope cutting off the circulation in my wrist and is this a healthy like cut
mm,
off of the wrist or is this a bad thing and then oh he's slipped and like got his hand on my hair and he's done like it's just my micro attunement to just the slightest misstep the room's too cold um
mhm,
like that's the shadow side that shows up for me and it's like you said like definitely not feeling low body and I am currently working with that hypervigilance in my own inner world because again, there are things he can do and yeah, if he pulls my hair wrong or weird, I can be like yellow, but most of the time the degree in which it shows up is like it's an inner piece of safety and trust and that's the moments where the ice skates start to wobble and instead of like grabbing for control, there's, like, the opportunity to, like, release into surrender.
mhm,
I'm still working with it. Like, I'm still that's where my brat comes up a lot because it's a way to stay engaged and in the dynamic and not just be in hypervigilance, and it brings play in. And so I've found a way to, like, work with it. Um I don't know if you found any way that you can kinda work with it. I know you said that your dom can kinda do that, but is there any way you found when you get that, like, caricature Barbie submissive?
submissive Barbie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, mostly I notice what's happening in my body or the lack of sensation in my body, and I'll name it like, "Oh, I'm not feeling my pussy." Just
Mhm.
and and I'll breathe, I'll, usually bring my hands to my lower body
Mm,
and, like, massage or, press to just, like, remember that I've got feet, I've got legs,
mhm,
I've got a pussy,
mhm,
um, and that helps me, kinda come back, um, but yeah, like, I take responsibility for naming, like or sometimes I'll be like, if I do, like, submissive Barbie, I'll be like, "Ah, do over," and I exit the room and I come back in again.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's, like, points to really great things is, like, humor, play, and then, like, return to physical sensation, and, we kinda started down a side road or tangent, but, like, those are all tools and skills that, yes, you can cultivate in partnership, you will, and even if you cultivate them solo when you're in partnership, it's a whole 'nother level, but I do think the personal responsibility, man, like, how do you be in full surrender but also have personal responsibility for your submissive shadows?
Yeah. Yeah, and, another thing that I really love that my dom and I established early on was, like, what are his responsibilities and my responsibilities?
Mm,
And I would normally just s what's the word? Like, pass all the responsibility over to him.
mhm.
That would be one of
Yeah,
the shadows.
yeah.
Um, but my responsibilities are to be the compass of expressing my feeling in the moment constantly, and being honest
Mhm,
and vulnerable, um, to I mean, that's, like, the core responsibility that then from there, I can do the things that fall within the dynamic, like to serve, to obey.
mhm,
Um, besides the dynamic, me being in my moment to moment, tuning in and expressing my truth from my body, from my heart, and staying connected to my heart and my body. That's like number one. And if I have that, then anything can build off of that.
it's such gold. Like, it's such gold. Because 'cause I'll out myself. I don't always. I don't
Mhm.
want to. I don't want to, like I don't want to show the truth of whatever it is in that moment for whatever reason, like, I am afraid of hurting his feelings, or I just don't want my body to be feeling that way either, and I just wanna, like, roll past it, and it has been, like, a game changer to switch up in a moment instead of me trying to figure out how to make it work. That's not my responsibility in our relational dynamic, to literally just start reporting what is so,
Mhm.
like reporting the weather. And like if play and humor come in, great. But if I can't even muster that, like reporting what is so. I don't have a body right now.
Mhm.
Like, oh, okay. Like, not being like, oh, I don't have a body. What do I need to do? How do I do it? What's the way? Because then that robs him and me of the dynamic we're wanting to create together. So I freaking love this like baseline level of responsibility. And then anything specific in the scene builds off of that.
Yeah. Your brat gives permission. It, like, gives you a way to work with what makes it difficult.
Mhm,
So, you have a way in to express those things that are real in the moment that helps you to get there.
mhm,
And, if you can, like, brat is a flavor of submission, and then it can also be a tool.
Mhm.
So, hey, if I can be a little bratty here, maybe that'll help me break through any fear or resistance I have around saying what's true.
Mhm. And not from a pre-programmed place, like, thought out, like, "Oh, now I brat to break the blah, blah, blah." Because honestly, we'll talk a whole episode on the shadow of the brat because it is a highly misunderstood archetype. Um, but it's I mean, it's just what is true in my body so often, which at the heart of brat is a yes/no mix.
Mm.
Like, at the heart of brat is, like, I am all systems go in some regards, and I am full fucking brakes in others, and it is that is the feeling in the body sometimes, and so when that just emerges, great. When it comes from, like, "Oh, I'm a blah, 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 and now I'm up here, and now I'm gonna brat," it sometimes doesn't always work, and that's when it's a good, like, "Okay, let me do that over again."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, so cool to have, like, this permission giving, like, a specific way to express the all systems go and the brakes living at the same time.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like, I have to break through the resistance, it helps me to remember that I chose this, um, and, like, I'm gonna share this in devotion and in service to the connection,
Mm,
and that helps me, like, any part of me that thinks like, "No, it's fine, and I need to I'm holding no, I get to have this," like, ultimately, I want connection,
mhm.
and I want to deepen the connection. That's something I already agreed to that I said a long time ago that I agreed to that I want. And if I so it's like, well, okay, in service of that connection, can I at least just say this thing? Yes. And then I
Yeah.
get myself to say it.
Yeah. Such a beautiful reminder. You are not a victim to the current circumstance. You've actually put a lot of time and effort to get here, and someone else is actually putting a lot of time and to meet you here. So, as much as you would like to think that this is happening to you, you have created this and you get to create it fresh in each moment. And it's like, fuck the drama of forgetting and remembering that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that I'm just realizing this in this moment. There was an aspect of me when I first stepped into submission that wanted to bypass that responsibility. That wanted to just give everything over to the dom to do shit to me
Mhm,
so that I didn't have to actually own the fact that I chose it
mhm,
and that I wanted it.
mhm,
It's scary to really, really choose that and to own my choice of it and that I really truly want to be a submissive.
mhm,
Um, so, to step into a relationship with that much empowerment and that much choice, that's vulnerable in and of itself. But it means that I'm not still not remembering the word. It's something like shirking. Like, I'm not like is that a word?
yeah, shirking, but like we've both forgotten the word where you put my responsibilities onto you,
Yeah.
and I don't know the word.
Abdicating?
Abdicating.
Yeah. I'm, like, abdicating the responsibility and making it all the dom's, and so anything that happens, positive or ne is the dom's fault. Like, it's all on them,
Mhm.
and that is just awful. Like, and and I'm so lucky to have a dom that's, like, willing to reveal to me the impact of that,
Mm,
and he did. He revealed that impact, and it's like, "Oh, yeah, that's that is awful, like, to make him, like, all of it, it's all your fault, like, it's
Mhm.
like, that's not the way to do it, whether I enjoy this, whether I don't enjoy this, it's all on you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boner killer.
yeah,
Sounds like a job, not a
right,
not a, like, intimate sexual hot moment.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
made it feel like a job to him, like,
Yeah.
I've set it up at times where it did make it made it feel like a job,
Mm.
and it was not fun for him.
Mhm.
So, yeah, like, me stepping into it in my power and in my truth and my vulnerability, all that allows him to have more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And, eh, tying all the things together, I'm like, another plug for solo submission,
Mhm,
like, the way that I've made it my partner's job is I've just been like, "Oh, this is just how I wanna feel," but I'm not gonna be clear on what name I wanna be called, I'm not gonna be clear on what I want to happen during this dynamic, and, um, and I just want you to figure it out,
mhm,
because you
mhm,
should be able to figure it out, and just take me to this feeling with no other information, and I was like, that turns out makes it feel more like a job and not like a, like, co-created, um, experience, and it's not that I'm then being like, "Okay, I'm gonna do this first, and then I'm gonna crawl to you, and then I'm gonna sit at your feet," and it's not that, but the clarity and owning what I want and actually asking for it is a big piece because I think I just wanted, like you said, I'm like, "Oh, I'm a good girl. I don't want those things. I don't wanna have to
mhm,
say them. I don't wanna have to own the fact that I do want this." And it's like, man, that lack of wanting to own it has led to what seems like a lack of clarity, which I don't really actually have.
mhm,
And it's like, "Oh, I'm not lacking clarity, I'm lacking ownership."
mhm,
And it's like, damn. Like, that is another place that I think just working on it in yourself is then you can take it to your partner, it's more fun, less of a job, less of a guessing game, less of a I'm the like, the dom is the only person influencing the situation. So not true in the kind of kink that you and I are wanting people to have a taste of.
yes. Oh, this is gold. This is so great. Yeah, like, just we it's to a close, but
Yeah.
just one thing to add to it is that, like, I so my doms would, like, be like, "Gosh, you just seem so sad and, like, miserable so much of the time, like, you just seem like you're having a terrible time." And but I wouldn't give them any clues as to how to make it so I'm having a good time,
Mm,
and that was the way of, I don't know, somehow justifying my shame. But yeah, but,
yeah,
like,
like, I'm not gonna enjoy this.
yeah,
Even though this is the only thing I fucking want right now.
yeah, and they're like, "I'm doing this for you." I mean, they're doing it for themselves, but also for me, and yeah, and so I would do that so that to justify, like, "Oh, that I don't need to own that I love this,
Yeah.
and that I want this." And that you are helping me to fulfill and, like, make real my so again, doing this yourself, you get to find, like, kind of, activate in your cells, in your body, and in your nervous system, the joy and pleasure that you get from enjoying being a submissive and that you get to actually enjoy it.
Mhm. 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 Which is a journey.
Yeah,
It's a journey.
indeed.
And that's what I love about it. There's always another layer. And
Yeah.
with a good partner, you will go and continue to find those spots, those tender spots, the last holdout of shame or propriety or control. Like, fuck, man, that, like, continued deepening of the dynamic, like, that's the, like, dream, taking someone where they can't take themselves, but it's, like, gotta start with each individual.
Yes. Thanks for listening to Erotic Reclamation. If this episode did something for you,
Turned you on, made you think,
made you feel a little less alone, subscribe, leave a review.
share it with someone who needs it, and then come back for more.
Because you get to want more.